Hi, welcome along to my channel. I'm Alison, this is Sort of Like Dotty, and today I'm kind of challenging myself to make two sweatshirts, one of which is a brand new pattern to me and one I've made a couple of recently. So whether you're a beginner sewist and you're just trying to kind of think what would be an easy garment to make, or whether you're an experienced sewist and you're wanting just a quick kind of, sometimes we need a little bit of a palette cleanser, or we just need something to get our sojo back, or a super cozy cuddly make, because that's what sweatshirts are for me. So the two sweatshirts that I'm going to make today, I'm going to pop up on the screen. The first one is a brand new pattern. It was only launched last week. I'm sure you've seen it all over different vloggers and the internet, but I'm going to kind of do a little bit different today. I'm going to do a little bit of a, not a sew along, but just compare some of the techniques in each of these. So the first one is the Tilly and the Buttons Drew sweatshirt, which I'll pop up on screen now. It comes in two different lengths, so it comes in a cropped and a regular length, and obviously you could extend or shorten that as you want to. It comes in a full sleeve and it comes in a colour block sleeve. So on those pictures you should see those different versions. The one that I'm going to make is the longer length one, and I am going to colour block or do some colour blocking on the sleeves. And the second one is the one that I have shared recently, and that is the Vicky Sews Nikki sweatshirt, which is actually a free pattern. Now this is a sweatshirt, but it's more of a jumper sort of shape, I would say. So the sleeves on the Drew look quite wider out as I've cut out those pattern pieces. They kind of have this sort of shape coming to the cuffs, where the ones on the Nikki are more of a traditional sort of sleeve. Hope that makes sense. I've got one of the Nikki's here. It's not hemmed at the moment. I've took the hem off because I'm going to lengthen it, because it is fairly cropped, and I've now done a green one. I'll pop in a picture of that, which I added 5 inches onto, and now that's the perfect jumper sort of length for me. But if you like a cropped one, this is probably perfect. Now this just has a pretty straightforward sleeve, but the difference is this doesn't have a cuff on the sleeve or the hem, so you'll see the differences in that as we go through. But a lot of the techniques for making a sweatshirt are very similar, but they are a little bit different. I hope that makes sense. So I did read the instructions for the Drew last night. I have made a lot of sweatshirts, so I do kind of fly by the seat of my pants with instructions, but I did have a little look at it, mostly around the construction of the block cut sleeve and how that goes together, and I've not done that before, so that'll be interesting. And also I do like to kind of make a sleeve and set it in, but with this Nikki pattern the sleeve goes in flat and then you sew from the sleeve down. And I think with the Drew, I might be wrong though, so we'll see when I get to that, you insert the sleeve, but I could be wrong. Let's see when we get to that in the instructions. Today I'm wearing my latest make, which is a Tilly and the Buttons Lotta dress, which I'll pop a little video in I've just recorded of me wearing this, because I didn't have it finished for last week's vlog. And the techniques for both of these jumpers would then take you on to making something like this. And I made this, oh, I'm going to say 3 years ago, and it's a pattern that I've just revisited in a different size. And I'm kind of thinking, why have I stopped making these? Because I really, really like it. So that video should have been playing for you for now. So the only difference with this compared to these, the techniques are very similar. You're just going to cut and add on the skirt from the pattern and put some elastic through, and then you've got a dress. So once you've got the skills to make a sweatshirt or a t-shirt, those skills are very transferable to the garments. So if you've been kind of wanting to try your hands at garment sewing, and you kind of, like I made bags and stuff at first, but you're kind of thinking, what can I make? Sewing something that's a stretch fabric or a jersey fabric can be pretty scary, but I just want to reassure you that it's not at all. Actually, I find it quite easy to do because it doesn't shift. So if you're sewing something like a viscose fabric for a blouse or a dress, the fabric can move and it can be tricky to keep the edges together. Well, you don't tend to get that with jersey. In terms of machines I'm using today, I'll be working between probably my sewing machine and my overlocker, possibly my cover stitch, but all you need is a the most basic simple sewing machine to make a sweatshirt. You will need some sort of stretch needle. I usually use a super stretch needle, depending on the fabric. If it's a fabric like this one where it's white on the back, sometimes it's worth trying a microtex needle if you do a little test and you notice that the white is coming through to the front for the stitches. More on this fabric in a second, but that's it. And just trust in the pattern instructions, because both of these patterns are easy beginner makes. But as I say, if you're an experienced sewist and you just want to, you know, to do something, so I think we all like a quick win, don't we? And both of the patterns are cut out. So obviously I've already made the Nikki. With the Nikki, you just go on the Vicky Sews website, put in your size, your height, your measurements, and it tells you which size. So you can either print that at home or send it off for AO printing. I do have a projector, so I chose to, I think I just projected and cut out the first one, but then because I was going to lengthen it, I've now projected it onto paper and cut that out, so I've got a paper pattern that's easy just to grab. For the Tilly and the Buttons Drew, you can obviously buy that in paper format. You can download it in AO and get it printed, or I did the same with that. I projected it and I've cut out the pieces and put them together to see how they look to construct those sleeves. So for the Nikki, I've already cut this out. I've shared it in my November plans. This is a polar fleece which I bought last year. This was from First for Fabrics. They don't have this colour, but they've got lots of lovely colours in, so I will put a link to the polar fleece in the description box. Anything I mention, I'll put in the description box, links to the patterns, and I am going to put a link to some other sweatshirts. It won't be an exhaustive list because there are many of them, but I will pop a link into a few so that you've got a few that you could click on and browse as well, so check that out in the description box below. And if I could ask you to give me a little thumbs up and a like if you're enjoying the vlog, or if you've not subscribed yet, please subscribe. It is free and it just all helps my channel get shared to other lovely sewists. So yeah, this is already cut out on that longer length version. This is going to be super snuggly for cold days, and the only difference with this was I didn't have enough fabric to cut the front on the fold. Had I done it the other way around, it would have been the back. For this, I've picked this ribbing out. So you can get different types of ribbing. This has got silver and white in it, and I just think it'll look nice. I'm going to double that over and attach that, so when it goes around the neck, it'll look something like that. I know the silver doesn't really stand out on camera, but I think they look quite nice together to set it off. And as I say, it's only around the neck on the Nikki. So if you've not used ribbing before, don't be scared by that. It comes in a tube. You need to make sure that you've got the stretchy bit to go around the neck and the cuffs. I've been caught out with that before, sewn it in, gone to put it on, and I've not cut it on the stretch, and you can't get your head through the hole. It's no good. For the Drew, I'm going to use this fabric, which I think is available in Lamazi still. It came in one of the subscription boxes, but it was gifted to me by Karen from Karen Sews Slowly, so thank you, Karen. She knew these were my colours, and she is indeed correct. So my plan with the Drew is to make the centre panel of the front and the back in this fabric, and then I've got some black jersey that I'm gonna put at the top of the sleeves and the bottom of the sleeves, and then there's a stripe across, you'll see as we go, that I'm going to do in this fabric. So there will be quite a chunk of it left, definitely enough to make sort of a t-shirt or something. So with this, I have got some black jersey that I'm going to cut out, and then I do have black ribbing. I probably could do this in the jersey that I'm going to cut out, but I do like the finish. This is proper ribbing. I do like the stretch and recovery of that, and just how it lies really. So I have got some of that. It's black, it's not exciting to see. So I think that's kind of the differences between the two. Are you ready to dive in? Hi, so I'm over by my cutting table. Obviously I had the first top cut out, so I've just cut out the Drew. I've just been piecing together the first bits of the colour block sleeves. I've had the most essential thing that's the most important, which is a cuppa, so I've just finished my black coffee. And yeah, so what I'm doing is the top of the sleeve, I want it all black. Now there is a pattern piece for the front and the back. Now Tilly and the Buttons, I've double checked this pattern, work on a 1.5 centimetre seam allowance, which is quite a big seam allowance. if you're new to sewing and this bit you kind of think, oh, I'm not confident for that, and you're doing it one colour front and one colour back, because the idea is they could be different, just cut them in the same colour and do the seam, and you'll just have a seam down. And particularly if it's a solid colour, you'd hardly notice that stitching line. But what I did, and I just thought I would show you, was this is the back pattern piece for the top of the sleeve, and this is the front pattern piece, and I've just temporarily taped them together with some washi tape here and here. So I've measured out, crossed them over by 1.5 centimetres, and that gives me that sleeve head. So I've cut that out in plain black, and then I'll just get rid of that, and then so that's ready, there's no sewing to do on that. And then I've cut the pattern piece out, which is going to be the stripe across the sleeve, sort of here, and that is going to be in my main body fabric, so that's cut out. And what I've done is I've just clipped both of those together. So with this pattern, you're constructing the sleeve first. So obviously once you've got the sleeve all in one piece, then we move on to shoulders in the next step. So I'm just gonna head over to my overlocker and overlock this together, and then the next step will just be to do exactly the same thing. So to put the plain black bottom of the sleeve onto the bottom of here, always right sides to right sides, but always checking your instructions, that'll give you that information. And that will give me my full sleeve. This one is what's called a raglan sleeve top. So the Drew has seams that come here and the same at the back, and the construction's different. So you would join, I think it says, the front piece to the sleeves, and then you sew down here, and then you put the back piece on. I've sewn quite a lot of raglan sleeve tops. I really like that style, but it is important to make sure you're aware of which is the front and the back. My little tip would be, I've just got like regular masking tape, I've got it here, so it's not very complicated. I just write like F or B on there and stick that onto the fabric, so that I know it won't come off, and I know which is front and back. Hi, so I thought I'd give you a little update on where I am. So with the Vicky Sews Nikki, I have sewn the centre panel together, and then I've just joined the front panel to the back. So I don't know if it'll go over my head because I've got like a hair clip in. Yes, it will. So this is where I'm at with that. I'm trying to not sort of overstretch the neckline, but hopefully you can see that okay, because I've had to shut the curtains. It's very sunny outside. So this is a drop sleeve, so you can see it hanging over there. And then the next stage with this would be to put the neckband in. For the Drew, the sleeves are fully constructed, so that is them there, and I have attached them to the front panel. So it looks a bit random when you do this, because this is obviously front and back, this is front and sleeves, and then it just needs the back joining on, and then you literally just sew round. So the next stage with this is to attach the back, and then that's ready just to come around. And once you've got the back on with that, you can then put the neck in and then come around. So it's kind of very similar once you get to that stage. So maybe I'll get them both to the point where the neck is about to go in and do both of those. But it's 2 o'clock. I'm going to go and get a bit of a late lunch. So basically that's a wrap. Let me take you through the 2 finished garments. It's a couple of days later. I have made a dress that I can't share with you till next week in between. Obviously I'm wearing the Drew, so we'll come back to this in a moment, but I'm going to pop in some footage of the Nikki jumper that I've made. It's my 3rd Nikki now. So this is just super snuggly, super cosy. I've been at work today. It's one of the first days we've really put the heating on. I just couldn't get warm, and so this is perfect. And I just like the fit of it. It's very loose, it's very snuggly. It's the perfect loungy jumper, but you know, if you wore jeans and things, you could dress it up with that. Would be great with the denim skirt, and I'm really happy with it. Obviously it had the seam down the front, and I wasn't sure till I just tried it on how that would look, but actually I really like it, and I'm really pleased with how that neckband went in. There wasn't much space under the silver to show any of the black, because there was probably about 0.8 like 8mm before the silver. So but I am really pleased with how that went in. And I'm wearing the Drew, as you can see, so I will put the footage in now. So, more details about the Drew. Do I like it? Yes. Did I order some black crush velvet yesterday to make a new one? Yes. Have I got a few lined up in my head? Absolutely yes. I will do like the all-in-one sleeves, and I will do the colour block again. I don't think I'll do full colour block. I really like how this is. You'll see it from the footage if you haven't already, but how I've got the stripe on the sleeves. I've took an inch off the arms. I think I can take more off the arms. I almost feel like I need the stripe to move up a little bit more so it's a bit more visible, but I'm not really sure. I made it in a 9. When I did my measurements, I was like, do I go size 9? Do I go size 8? And I did want it oversized, but I think it's oversized anyway. So 100% I'm going to drop down to a 8 in the next one that I make. It is quite sort of loose around the bottom. This is absolutely fine. I've got it on with my black jogging pants today, and I'm not going to alter it or do anything with it. But if I wanted one that was more dressy, I'm going to say I'm going to go to a 8 for my next one. Then I'll see if I can go down again. Obviously, I think that's going to vary in what fabric that you do, but ultimately, yeah, I definitely need to downsize. I'm very happy with the neck. At one point I thought it was going to be really big round the neck, but it's perfect for me. I don't like too high a neck, and it went together really easily as you know, I thought that it would. So yeah, there'll be more of these in the future. Let me know what you think of both. As I say, I'm going to drop some other sweatshirts in the description box below. All my details are in there for my Facebook group. If you do fancy ever buying me a coffee, that's always there. But I'm here for the fun, I'm here for the chat, and I'm here to catch up with you guys. So let me know what you've been making, what you've been doing, and don't forget to give me a lovely like and subscribe if you feel that you can. And I will catch up with you next week. Hopefully there'll be 2 dresses to share with you next week. So take care. Thank you for sticking with me, and I'll see you soon.